Yo, how you doing? How you f***ing doing? Well, another year, another Saw movie. If you're new to the Saw coverage on my channel, I do one video a year on a Saw movie and kind of just give my overall thoughts and talk about traps and the different plot developments, because honestly at this point in the franchise, like, none of these movies stand on their own. You know, there's some negatives to that, but also it's just pretty fun to go through and watch. So yeah, we're just talking about Saw 5. Yeah, Saw's been in a bit of a resurgence lately. I'm gonna go see the unauthorized Saw musical next year. The Billy the Puppet got added into Fortnite. There's like a whole Fortnite event with the Jigsaw stuff, which is pretty cool. The uncut version of the first movie is getting re-released in the theaters for the 20th anniversary, so I might go see that as well. I'm just excited. I'm a Saw head. I'm gonna go to SawCon this year, and let's talk about Saw 5. Berg. Quick summary of Saw 4. Since Saw 5 takes place immediately after the events of the previous movie, Jigsaw autopsy with Saw penis. A bunch of cops die. Agent Strom gets locked into the room by Hoffman, who was revealed in the previous movie to be the new Jigsaw guy. Our intro trap for this movie is the pendulum trap, with a guy strapped on a table with a huge pendulum blade swinging over him. He's told that he needs to crush his hands in order to escape and face justice, since he didn't serve his full 25-year sentence on a technicality, which of course is never explained. What's odd about this trap though is that even though our victim did what was required of him, the blade still came all the way down and sliced him in half, which it was pretty awesome, I can't lie. For that reason, we're giving this trap a C rating. It has a cool mechanism, the theming is kind of faulty, and the moral reasoning for the victim doesn't make sense because he beat the trap and he wasn't allowed to escape. This reveal is more important later on, but yeah, I'm just gonna give this a C. Our main hero of Saw 5 is Agent Strom from the last movie, who is following the loose steps left behind by Hoffman. Saw 5 follows two main storylines, one with Agent Strom and Hoffman, and the main group trap plotline, which I'm glad they're doing the group trap again. That's a great novelty that we saw in Saw 3 with the group going through the different rooms and stuff. It's like an escape room.
During this, then you finally found what you were looking for.
Ow.
The choice is yours.
Fuck you.
Let's get it. Strom finds a secret goo door and is then knocked out and placed into the water cube by who I'm assuming is Hoffman. Now on to the water cube trap. Oh, this one's so OG, bro. Pretty iconic. I mean, I see people cosplay this one a lot, and I think visually it's just pretty striking. You got this cube over Agent Strom's head, and obviously it's slowly filling with water. If they filled that with Diet Coke, I'd be fine, honestly. Unfortunately, this doesn't count as a real Jigsaw trap, much like the first one of this movie, because there's no actual way for him to escape. And there's no tape or TV recording telling him what to do or why he's trapped. So really, this is just Hoffman being insanely extra and killing him in a way that covers his tracks when the cops find him. Strom is a complete fucking baller though, and stabs himself in the neck to breathe out of, which is fucking sick. Oh, that's fucking brutal, man. Hoffman's trying to spin his hero bullshit to the first responders, and he gets really angry when he sees that Strom made it out of his trap. Hoffman probably should have just shot him in the head or something, but he just had to dress up as a pig guy really fast and try out this random trap, I guess. Hoffman's honestly kind of a diva in this movie. I mean, he's always like serving face for no reason.
That the people who died
did
not die in vain. Today we honor the newly promoted.
Let's introduce our B plot, which on the Wikipedia they're titled the Fatal Five, which kind of makes them sound like a b-boy group, but that's besides the point. Hoffman's group Jigsaw trap, which he hilariously has a small diorama of where he updates the position with these cute little clay models. Usually I like the main trap plot more than the hero plot of these movies, but I found the Fatal Five's characters pretty one-note and boring. They purposefully don't talk much to each other until it's too late, and they quickly turn on each other and fight, which is kind of funny, but it gets old after the literal like third time they do it.
Please, no!
My god. The first trap they wake up to is the necktie trap, and they're all wired to these giant scissors, and they all have to go one at a time to reach the keys, and they all freak out and pull each other, and at the end of the timer, all the wires get pulled back, and the one lady who didn't get her key yet gets her head chopped off. This trap is okay. I mean, with these group traps, the moral reasoning doesn't make sense until the last reveal. I think this trap is fine, but it's mostly just there to introduce our cast of characters. The necktie trap gets a B. I mean, it has a nice challenge aspect of it, but it's not strong as an introduction to the characters because we literally don't know anything about them. The rest of the Strom and Hoffman plotline is pretty one note. Strom is investigating Hoffman and visits old Jigsaw traps and somehow figures out and visualizes the trap and gives us a lot of flashback scenes. The flashback scenes give us a lot of lore on how Hoffman met Jigsaw and how Hoffman imitated him with the pendulum trap in order to get revenge on his sister's killer. Alright, the shotgun chair trap. Jigsaw finds out that Hoffman is following him, sedates him, and puts him in the shotgun chair, which is a chair with a shotgun. This one's fine. It's pretty simple. You know, if he gets up, the shotgun fires. And the whole concept of this trap is like Jigsaw trying to kind of coerce him into realizing like what true justice is. But there's no bullets in there. And they kind of have like a weird connection somehow, and then they start working together from there on out. So shotgun chair gets an F, but he should have put like a real bullet in there. But yeah, I don't know. Not really much to say about the shotgun chair. Then this goes into Hoffman and Jigsaw's relationship, and it turns out Hoffman was actually helping Jigsaw out for a majority of the traps, which makes sense because he's an old guy. He would need help doing some of the heavy lifting. And it turns out Hoffman was giving him info on criminals or convicted people to, you know, put into traps. But since these flashbacks are tied to Strom's investigation, it makes the plotline kind of weak because he just doesn't have any evidence. He walks around the room and literally says to himself, like, I've got you now. I know who you are, Hoffman. I mean, he doesn't see the flashbacks we're seeing. He's just like kind of imagining shit. Now, don't get me wrong. In their first interaction, Hoffman acts sus as fuck for no reason. But Strom just doesn't have any physical evidence, so it doesn't make any sense.
Jigsaw from the beginning, and I got him. So unless you've got something else to say, back the fuck off. Read the papers. I saved that little girl.
Not suspect at all. The surviving 4 of the Fatal 5 walk to the next room of the main Hoffman trap, where they're met with a bunch of sealing jars. They have to bust open these jars for keys to open these grates and get inside because the room has a bunch of bombs inside, and they instantly start whacking each other.
Get your hands off that, you're not going anywhere!
Yeah, get his ass.
Get a clue, you fucking bitch! It's survival of the fittest!
Like, there's obviously so much space inside these grates for 2 people to crawl into, and they instantly think that they're meant to leave one person behind. The trap isn't fun, it's just a weird piñata party, and they don't have to even endure any pain to beat the trap. Sealing jars trap gets an F. This trap fucking sucks. It's not even a trap, it's a room full of keys. Now, we gotta talk about Hoffman. Between all these main trap scenes, we see more Hoffman and Strom, where Strom is getting closer, but we get a lot of scenes where Hoffman is very obviously setting Strom up and covering his tracks. And it just kind of cuts into the final reveal. He's a main character of this movie. We're following him, we're seeing his intentions to cover his tracks, but it just makes the final reveal not good. Like, we know he's Jigsaw, he set all this up, and Strom is walking into his trap. I just don't really understand the point, really. I mean, I like Hoffman, Hoffman's cool, but again, this is kind of the same problem I have where it's like too much of a peek behind the curtains. We're literally seeing all of Hoffman's intentions, and I guess at this point, that's just what Saw is. The remaining 3 of the Fatal 5 walk into a room with a water-filled bathtub in the middle of it, surrounded by 5 coils and a bunch of like wires and clippy thingies. And they're told that they have to complete the circuit or else the room will explode. I guess all these rooms just fucking explode. They just bash one of their heads over and connect everything to her dead body and win. I don't know. I really doubt that any one alive person would be able to survive this. They're kind of implying that it requires a sacrifice by one person to even open the door, but I find the main trap plotline of this kind of fucking stupid. I mean, I'm going to talk about one more trap and then talk about like the main reveal of why they were all there, but it's not as strong as the other movies. Then the last 2 people walk into a room and there's like this table with a bunch of saw blades on it, and they're told that they have to sacrifice 10 pints of blood in order to open the door. At this point, the last 2 characters finally talk to each other and they realize how they're all connected. They're all like higher ups and rich people who contributed to the burning down of a building which killed 8 people. How they didn't realize this almost instantly, I have no idea. I mean, one of the guys was even a journalist. He said he even knew multiple people, so I don't know why they wouldn't try to work that out. Then one of the main ladies, I don't fucking know their names. I don't even think they said their name. They might have, but she looks at all the keys she grabbed earlier from the first trap and she's like, oh, they're all the same. We're actually all supposed to be here in this last room. And then they're like, well, we're fucked. So they both stick their hands in and try to get 10 pints of blood. For some reason, the guy lets the shit rip all the way down his forearm, which I don't think that makes more blood. Like, I'm sure you could have just like cut your hand open and just wait. So I think he dies and the lady crawls out and gets found by a cop, and that's literally just the end of the group trap plotline.
We were together.
Why is he caressing her? The fuck? At this point, like, what the fuck is even the point of having the like main victim? It's literally not connected at all in any capacity. 3 and 4, from what I remember, the main trap is kind of connected to the hero. They're kind of tied in some way. This one, it literally doesn't fucking matter. This movie could have been an episode of a TV show where it was just Hoffman and Strom. Yeah, she crawls into a room and I'm assuming she's dead. That's where the Fatal 5 end up. They all die. Whoop-de-doo. The blood sacrifice trap, the concept of it is actually the best out of all the group traps. I'll give it a B. Now we get to the final trap of the movie after Special Agent Peter Strom walks through a kind of tunnel system that while he's trying to follow Hoffman, and he walks into a room with a glass coffin. He finds a little tape, and I like how on this tape Hoffman's actually doing like a pretty cool Jigsaw voice.
Oh, Agent Strom, if you are hearing this, then you have once again found what you are looking for. I ask you, Special Agent Strom, have you learned to trust me? The only way to survive this room is by entering the glass box before you.
And he's told to trust Hoffman and get inside the coffin. Now, of course, he's not going to get into the coffin, so when Hoffman shows up, they start scuffling. He pushes Hoffman into there, closes it, and Strom mistakenly thinks that he won. And then the walls start closing, and Hoffman is serving face once again. He's gloating. He's a petty bitch, I can't lie. Strom gets squished and all the blood falls onto Hoffman and Hoffman wins. Hoffman won everything. Mechanically, this trap is pretty sick. I like how Hoffman, he kind of differentiates himself from Jigsaw because he likes to watch, you know? He's a watcher. Even if Strom went in there, like Hoffman's just not gonna go inside the room. He's just gonna go to wherever the coffin is and like kill Strom or something. It's not that good of a reveal. Yes, he won over Strom, but he was winning over him like over the entirety of the movie when the main CIA guy was like, Strom, how could you do this? Like, we see all of this, so that was Saw 5. Like, I don't know. There's no real stakes in this movie, you know? I like this final trap. Mechanically, it's pretty epic, but in terms of, you know, the final trap, the final Hoffman win, I'll give it an A. It's the best trap of this movie, but unfortunately, there's a lot of problems with this movie. Overall, I've only been watching one movie a year, so it's kind of hard for me to think about all of them in order, but compared to the last movie, this one kind of sucks. The main trap plot has very little stakes because it's just a bunch of random people in the Hoffman trap, and the Strahm investigation and Hoffman kind of ordeal doesn't have that much stakes either because we just see Hoffman winning the whole time. Every single turn he's conniving and covering his tracks and framing Strahm, which it is interesting, but it's not that exciting. Like, it's cool because I want to see what Hoffman's little grubby fingers are doing, but as a movie, it's just not that good. I don't know. Definitely left me wanting a little bit more. Have a great day, and I'll see you. Bye now. Bye.